Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. You have me at a different angle today. I have the table down lower, so you're seeing a little bit of the background. Mind the mess. I hope you're all doing really well. And instead of doing the individual signs, I decided to do a collective reading for the week. There is a lot of astrological energy, including the return. I actually took a screenshot here of Jupiter to Pluto. And this is the same energy that we had in the beginning of the year. So, what I feel from that are things that happened during the pandemic, straight up, right? With your person and their life and realizations they have or had, they will be reevaluating all of that. They will be receiving those same energies and taking a good look at it and looking at how they want to move forward. This is a very intense energy, actually, that we're starting the week off with. So that's a big deal, okay? And it has to also do with taking a look at the greed and what greed has brought. Let me just make sure there's nothing else. There's going to be, a forced confrontation with instability and things that are not serving your person's life and yours, okay? But that's not the message I have here necessarily. The message I have here is that you and your person are both under the same energy, almost preparing for a return to each other. And I'll tell you, it's not all buttercups and butterflies and all of that. It's actually an intense, very serious energy, though I don't recommend staying in the serious zone, but it's a serious thing. It's time for you to start reuniting. And for those of you that have been in contact with your person, you may have had these type of conversations where there's something different, okay? And I just want to give you guys a side note. I have been working with coaching and manifesting, and honestly, changing your vision, changing your thoughts changes everything, okay? And it takes a little bit of work, and then you get used to it and it comes easy. So check out my website if you'd like to look at anything I'm offering. Also, I have the link below. Thank you everyone that took me up on my weekend offer. I really appreciated that. Those readings are amazing. I really love the WISIO app for quick readings. I was able to return all those readings within 24 hours, actually, though it just happened to be that way because I set the whole weekend aside. However, I'll try to do them as quick as possible always. Okay, guys? So the first message we have here, it was beautiful. When I was like, wow, this is going to be an amazing reading. But like I said, it gets a little intense here. Prosperity and miracles. So this will be the overall energy of the week. There is going to be a lot of prosperity in realizing that miracles can be attained, can be achieved, can happen. It's very interesting, okay? So look what we have as the next cards for from the Lovers deck, I have to say, okay? And I just want to take a really good look and pick up the energy again because I did pull these and then do some relaxing and I haven't looked at them since. So let me just take another look. And this is keep an open mind and playfulness. It makes so much sense, especially because I'm getting this energy that it's intense, right? So it's really important for you. Why not, right? Take the lead and just keep things lighthearted. And even if they get intense, you can instantly switch that around. You control everything going on in your own environment, okay? So with the keep an open mind, and I remember it said your soulmate may differ from the usual type and expectations. I remember looking at that in such a different way at this time. It's that you're going to be learning these lessons about how to come into union with your person. And, to be honest, your person might be a little different than what you imagined at this from up to this point, I should say, right? Because a lot of us have one image of our person, and to be honest, they kind of have the one image of us too. If you're not doing all these daily activities and regularly meeting and stuff, or if you're just meeting in one spot all the time, it's like you only get to see each other in that environment. But now there's going to be this whole new energy of lightheartedness and both parties trying to actually come together, actually making somewhat of an effort. And the effort doesn't have to be physically, it can also be mentally. You controlling your thoughts, you controlling your surroundings, you controlling your energy. So this is about keeping an open mind about what the miracles are you're about to learn about, which is really interesting. So I was hoping to get a bit of a time frame. However, what we did get is a very vague time frame. Forgiveness. And forgiveness is a big energy here. Actually, we'll pull one card. I won't be pulling any other clarifiers, but on the forgiveness, let's see what has to really be worked on here. And in the near future, right? So let's just see forgiveness, please. What do we get here? So, pride, perspective, and fortunate. So it would be really having to do, it could be with having to change your perspective on your person's outlook. Maybe they don't see things the same way you do when it comes to that they're fortunate about this. And they're like, you should be happy that I'm in your life. You should be happy we have these opportunities. Maybe their pride was getting in the way of that and they had to change their perspective, or you had to give them time. And they may still be working on that, okay? Because the other card that came with that is in the near future. So the time frame for something happening here, and honestly, in the near future is probably one of the better cards to get for the time frame, because as a divine masculine and feminine, you all have your unique journey, right? And your unique timing for that. So if you're going along with this and you're feeling this, there's going to be a change within the near future. This will involve forgiveness, okay? And remember that it's really important. For many of us, we feel like for sure we've forgiven them, for sure. But if you're still having a little bit of an argument in your head at times with those fearful thoughts, then you haven't truly it's not that you haven't fully forgiven them. You really have to forgive the whole situation. Forgive yourself and let it go. And by the way, that is one of the keys to manifestation. You first have to forgive everything involved in anything that causes you triggers, right? And let it go. So this is the only deck I allowed 3 cards to come out, just because I felt like it had to do with this. So the center energy here of what you're going through and your person is the heart chakra. So there is love between the two of you. Keep that in mind at all times. However, divine feminine, it's going to come out more here. I do feel that some of you are actually really having an issue. I don't want to say fighting, but balancing out your emotions at this time. Why? I'm not sure. It could be the calm before the storm. And what the storm is greatness and reunion, right? But it could be a little too calm right now, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know where this is going. That is not your job to figure out. All you need to do is have faith that this union will happen. It looks to me as though you and your person are both kind of in the same energy. The feminine energy says suffering in silence. It doesn't have to be as harsh as that, but you may be keeping a lot to yourself, working on yourself, trying to go within and figure out why you're being triggered still at this point, about what and what needs to have continual work done. And it looks like the masculine here is also, in a sense, suffering in silence. Maybe some of your masculines are very prosperous and have a really nice spot to suffer in. Or maybe you just choose different spots, right? Maybe you choose to suffer in nature or in the mountains or in isolation away from things. And maybe your masculine has to suffer well at the office or well at a home or somewhere. And, what I see is you both in visualizing this reunion. But the funny thing is, I see the feminine side kind of really focused on, and it's not really, guys, put it to your situation, but focused on the challenges and kind of a bit worried about the future challenges that haven't even presented themselves at this point. And there we go again, back to manifestation. If you're worrying about things that haven't happened yet, you're actually creating them for the future. So it's time to just take all that back and know everything and have faith that everything will be fine. And I feel like for the masculine, a lot of the fear or the suffering is coming from them holding back on actually being able to face love. Okay, this masculine is facing the waterfalls, the two waterfalls there, this union energy. But there's this energy, there's this, the masculine's embodying some sort of a fear of that, to be honest. It looks like this masculine has a lot going for them, and all they got to do is take that jump to enjoy that pool, right? But the feminine also seems to be doing her contemplations in her own way. I'm going to suggest get out, go have fun, and go to like water or go somewhere that there is more of that flowy energy. Maybe you're going to the mountains or you're just going to somewhere that's, cement. And I get it. I go sit anywhere and meditate. But I'm just saying, I think it's actually amazing to go by the water at this time and just allow the water to flow and just envision it flowing into your heart chakra or into your heart and just filling it with love. Okay. So here we're going to get into a bit more of the challenges. I guess we'll leave these out. I started by pulling these cards. I forget what these cards are. Okay, yeah, I'll save those for a moment. So the first card that came out for the Divine Feminine is the Mystic Woman. That is definitely representing you. This is a new deck I got. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a Buddha deck. I'm not going to be reading the Buddhist terms here, though they can be very in-depth. And for personal readings, I will include these, just at least one of these more often. And for the masculine, we have, it came out like this, literally: hold on, be careful, live dangerously. Now, I'm going from the pictures here, and this depicts a man with lashings on his back. And it's almost as though he's held on for too long of avoiding this beautiful love. And he is so worried. The be careful is actually a rose, right? Roses are beautiful and they can prick you. And that is what love is about. It's not easy, guys. It's beautiful. It's just, it's not, I don't know another way to put it. It's not easy. And you have to be willing to accept that. And you also have to be willing to overcome the challenges, to just be the bigger person, to step up, right? And I'm just talking about that with you, for me and the viewers, but this is what your person is going to be realizing. They're holding on. And it can also depict the fact that they've held on to a situation where it's almost like they were slave laborers, right? Like this person is getting the lash, this person is getting whipped, this person is going through pain. And so they have this ongoing fear when it comes to love about that, living dangerously. It's almost like they rather risk the pain or risk losing, their life almost, than to have to move forward. And I'm not saying your person's not going to. I'm just giving you the intenseness that they're feeling in regards to love. So let's look at these two beautiful cards. So we have transformation and time. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. And it really is about to deepen because you are about to come into union with this person, okay? Time, transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. So I'm not sure if I said anything like that, but with any sort of suffering, I honestly feel like you're moving out of the suffering energy. I do feel like in this week, you will be moving towards love, to be honest. And I'm going to come right down here and bring up why I feel that, okay? So Divine Feminines, the card you got was the Six of Arrows. The masculine got two cards. You got one, and this was at the bottom, and it made sense, so I included it. And hi, everyone. Sorry I haven't looked over to say hi. So the Divine Feminine has the Six of Arrows. And you know what? Usually the Six of Arrows is about going towards calmer waters, okay. Leaving stormy area, okay. I don't know, guys. I'm getting a different vibe here. It's not too different though, but it's almost like you're coming in, you're returning, you are coming towards the divine masculine with, whatever. The arrows talk about things at times that need to be discussed or need to be expressed, okay? If you take an arrow, if you take anything that's stabbed in the boat out, eventually that boat has to sink. Everything has to come down. if you let that build up long enough, right? So it's like she's returning home, and it's not necessarily, what I'm getting now, because it's a 6, is it's about discussions of love. It's opening up. It's taking this to a whole new level, this connection. And divine feminines, a lot of us really do have to work on being in the present moment and opening up when it comes to love. I mean, I could give you personal examples that I've learned, but I don't want to delay this yet. Okay, maybe at the end. So with the Princess of Pentacles at the bottom, I love that, because to me, that's just you getting ready to have a new beginning, you getting ready to accept the new challenges that will be coming your way. This is something of a challenge. It is, love is not easy. And especially for those of you that have not had your true love for so long, there was a reason, there was a blockage, there was divine timing, there was everything. But there's lessons here, and you're about to embark on new lessons. I'm seeing the name Dan, maybe that's someone's name. And Fred I got, but there's no Fred here. Okay, so for the divine masculines, he has the 7 of Wands and the Prince of Wands, and it came like that. And I really felt, just as you're about to come forward, we have a prince and a princess here, but you're dealing with your thing, they're dealing with theirs. They're going to be facing off these fears, the fire breathing dragon, that's been down their throat, whatever that may represent. They're pushing it away, and they're getting ready to take that stick and come into the forest and come into this new beginning as well. And they're ready to take action. This also talks about you being ready for a solid commitment, okay? A solid understanding, a solid agreement, something solid, okay? And remember, your masculine is showing up as more action oriented. But this is just for now, so we'll catch up again next week. Let's see what other messages we have here for the feminine. Okay, what did this have to do with? This is the 5 of Wands in reverse in the World card. And I remember I picked up this beautiful energy when I first saw that, because it had to do, the 5 of Wands, first of all, in the upright is about unfocused, I want to say arguments. It doesn't have to be arguments, but doing things that don't have a solid plan. And see, now you're ready for the solid plan. With the 5 of Wands in reverse in the World, you are definitely ready for a new beginning. You have a focus, you know what you want, you're going to face it, you're not afraid to speak, and you're speaking on a different level. You're speaking on a more emotional level as you are coming in on the water, right? So you are going to express yourself, and this is about you and your divine masculine. In this card, you can't see it, but there's a masculine in the water, and it's like this person has never left your mind, okay? And trust me, you have never left theirs either. There is such a strong reflection energy here. You and your person are definitely feeling the exact same energies right now, which is so beautiful. So with this new beginning, you have a new focus with the World card. You are taking charge. And, I'm just going to throw this in there because what I get right now is that you're taking charge of what you want in this situation, but also willing to compromise. It's going to go both ways. And I see that because there's a masculine and a feminine energy in this World card. Amazing. I'll get to the messages after because they were really deep, okay? So with your, let me just make sure. Yes, I have to look at this again, guys. Sorry. I just want to see. Yes, okay, that's the feminine because I remember that energy came out. For some reason, I felt like this came out for the feminine, but it didn't. It's on the right side. It's with the right messages. I don't know why I thought that. So let's get into this. It actually is very energetically aligned with the masculine. It's very sad actually to see it. I don't know why I had this, because you know what? You're reflecting each other that strong that even I'm picking up these energies for both ways. I'm doubting, and no, don't doubt yourself. You know the truth, by the way. Okay, so the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. This is about your masculine having to take the action to get themselves out of this energy of just like sadness, depression. And you know what? when your masculine feels like that, I get that you pick it up too, and you have felt that too. So maybe some of this suffering that has happened is also just because you're reflecting your person. It looks as though your person really is coming to this realization that there's an ending that has to happen in their life, which we already know they know, but there's an action that has to be taken. And it's almost like they're looking for forgiveness when there's no reason to need forgiveness, except this person has a mentality of someone who has been a slave, right? Like, I wanted to use a different description there. You know, like when you get kidnapped and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's Stockholm syndrome or whatever, but all of a sudden you're defending your kidnappers or whatever. You know, this person is actually very saddened about the change that's happening, but they know it can't be worse than the suffering they're going through, and they are willing to take the action towards something new with the Knight of Wands. Like, it's actually about taking action. And these are both the same card, actually. The Prince of Wands and the Knight of Wands, same energy there, okay? Now, what is the message that you have for your person? Okay, feminines, this was really a really big reason why I felt like maybe you're going through a bit of a dark time right now, or coming out of it, okay? And it says, I am in a sad place. I am an emotional mess. Now, one of these cards, I forget which one, and I don't know why I didn't have them down in the right way. It came in reverse, but it doesn't matter. So what it is that you are coming out of this energy and you're realizing that you are in it. It can be very deceiving when you're going through transformation. You don't know what's good, what's wrong, what's right, what's up, what's down. You're thinking of every single thing. Really clearing your head is really important. So this talks about you feeling that you may have taken the wrong path sometimes, and you're trying to understand why you feel that way. So that goes back to you trying to figure out what these triggers are and working on them. It does talk here like from a masculine's perspective, and it says, I am divine masculine energy, single-minded, action-oriented. I have dreams. I must go for my material goals. This is important to me. Let me get this done. But what I feel that's one of your fears. Like, is this masculine energy ever going to open up their mind? Are they ever going to include me in their dreams? Are they ever going to make me one of their goals? So this is the type of things going on in your mind. This is what came up, and it just is what it is. Let's get an extra message from the Recycled Tarot. We'll see what we got here. So it's about surrender. And I'll pull one for the masculine now while I have that. That is my surrender. You are in the hands of the divine, okay? This person is like just letting go in that water and just giving in. Give in to your emotions. If you're not feeling good, explore them and get over them. Really, okay? Don't dwell in them too much, okay? And so for your masculine, okay, I left theirs perfectly in the way they came. So, and it came this way, actually. Get excited. See, this is so nice, though, because it's almost like they're on this. I really do feel like your masculine is kind of in a little bit of a more, it's not prosperous place, but like positive, a bit more positive about the change that's happening, though it's freaking scary to them. So it says, get excited. Things are about to change. It's time for a new beginning. I see the potential. You are love and light, grace and beauty. I want to commit to a fresh start with you. So that's beautiful. In the reverse, I have my guard up, and I feel that is in the, like, that's the part that's in the reverse. The guard is down or coming down. I have a home, but my heart resides with you, where I know I am always welcomed. And maybe this person feels like, no, they don't have a home anymore. And the last card was, I see I was being used by the people closest to me. So that's the message to you from your person. With this energy, I feel like your person feels your vibrations, okay? This is about someone who's like sending out signals out of their mind. And guys, that goes back to manifestation. You don't have to say a thing. You can do it all in your mind. So anyone interested in that, you're welcome. I was going to say be willing or whatever. No, you're welcome to email me, because I don't want to do coaching for just like, you need to believe it to achieve it. And that's my saying now. Um, and we don't need to babyfoot around that. Like, it just is what it is. But you really just got to believe it. And there's ways to do that, because this type of stuff is proven, and you can look at other people who have done it, right? You can create whatever you want. So let's just recap. It looks like this week we have this energy of getting over things that have to be cleared, whether it be fears, even the feminine energy here with the mystic woman. She actually looks a little bit like dazed and confused. So getting over that, getting focused, getting to a new beginning here, being ready to face this and being ready to show up, right? There's a transformation that's occurring. Things are not going to be the same as you remember. And that is absolutely fine, because you don't want it to be the same. There's forgiveness needed, perspective has to be adjusted, has to come from a new, deeper understanding. Pride and sensitivity to things has to also be forgiven. And people have to understand they're very fortunate to have the ability, or to have the things that they have, and to have the ability to get what they want. And everyone's fortunate about different things. Remember, that's everyone's individual perspective. We have prosperity and a miracle happening. And I feel like the miracle is all of this understanding, all of this coming together. Even though the Nine of Swords are here, it's okay. What's hurting this person is the fact that they're going to be, what they feel, having such a big change. And it's almost like they're worried about this dragon energy, this fear-based thinking, because here we have another dragon on their side, right? So everyone, thank you so much. Check out my website, check out WISIO, the links below. The sales, the 10% off is still on. It's A Touch of Tarot, 10, all one word, capitals. And thank you everyone that booked over the weekend. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. I was going to come on later, but this is the weekly energy, so you might as well know what you can expect for this week ahead of time. Well, right now, starting, right? And yeah, the individual signs, I don't know about those anymore. I did want to give you guys an example. Oh, yeah. Okay. So for those of you that still want to hear something that I think is important, the feminines, for a lot of us, and I felt like I'm very in touch with love, and I still do feel like that, right? But I'll tell you, when I am with my person, things happen where I realize that I'm not in the moment like he is, I'm actually like focused, my mind focuses on and I think that this is a divine, or this is a divine feminine thing. This is a feminine thing. We focus on the whole picture, and I feel like the masculine focuses on the moment, like what's going on there. So for example, my masculine's focused on me, and I'm focused on him, but also the music in the background, and also the lights and the lighting and the energy, and and it really was brought to my attention, but also it let me know, it's like, Jen, you do just got to do that and just have that focus, and who cares about the beautiful perfect music and the beautiful perfect lighting and everything else involved, and really get focused, because that's how you will touch your person's heart, when they realize, and it's not by any fault of anyone, and you'll still touch their heart. They'll still admire you, but you want to really pierce that arrow in there, then really get focused in the moment. And also another thing I learned or experienced is, instead of always, I don't know if some of you are like that, like always throwing it in there, like, I can't wait to see you, or whatever, how about just focusing on them? Just sending them a message about them, and nothing else to do with anything else but them, that person. It's just something different for me personally. I realized is something I need to really understand, because some of you might be dealing with some really in touch divine masculine energies, and this may be some of the work that you have to do to actually, no matter what, everyone has their challenges, right? But you might be dealing with some really in touch divine masculines that actually, when they are with you, they are 1000% focused on you and so happy to be with you. and you're really like focused on making sure everything's perfect, or something like that. So I'm just saying, drop everything. A lot of your masculines might be homebodies, so they actually want to be at home with you. For that's another message, and I got that reiterated in many different ways. Because some of you may think like, well, why does my person only come in this one environment? It might be because they actually are homebodies and they feel so good with you in that same spot. But you can switch it up. You can do things. You can change your place up a little so it looks different. You can bring out board games or something. I don't say board games. I would say relationship games where you get to talk about things that happened in your past. That was actually a really fun. I had this game. I think it's called Relationship Moments. I still have it. I'll pull it out next time. And it was so fun to play with my person. We really got to know each other, or like see what each other remembered about things. And yeah, you can't feel your DM. Well, sometimes I'm just reading the comments, Shay. Sometimes you can't feel them, and it just is what it is. And sometimes it's super intense. And I would just stop saying I can't feel my DM, and I would just, if anything, say I can feel him, or the feeling will be coming back. I just wouldn't even say that. It just is what it is. You don't have to always search for like reasons why things are. Just let it be. It's okay. Just a little break. It will come back when it's meant to. You'll feel him again. What else? I'm just looking on here. You can feel, yeah. So, a lot of people can. And, just remember, you will feel it when it's time. I've gone, I've been there. And sometimes I would really stress out. Often I found the further away my person was from me, the more I would feel him. And that was like before, that was a while ago. And, because sometimes like I'd know like he's not away or whatever, and I wouldn't feel him, and I'm like, why am I not feeling him? And then I was like, maybe it's just because he's just around the corner, so I don't have to feel that energetic pull. But I don't know. It does happen. And then you can also meditate on it, or just maybe you are feeling him and pushing it away. Maybe he's pushing you away a little bit right now too, right? Just don't worry. Is there anything else in here? Thank you. I'm very grateful for him and our time together, but it's time now. He can be single. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like you don't have to make it a big deal. If you're going to take space from your person, I recommend just taking the space. You don't have to go and tell them, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because to be honest, you're going to find out that like if this is your special person, let's just say it like that, your special person, you're not going to be able to just forget about them. So there's no point in saying to them anything definite. And I wouldn't even think it if I were you. I would just think to myself, right now I'm going to go and have fun. I wouldn't even think anything about ending the relationship. There's no point. And there's no point in even putting that out there. It will manifest if you don't want to be with someone. It will manifest in its own way, but it can be painstakingly long. Oh, you got, yay, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear your news. Yay. A lot of you will be having really good news. And honestly, just work with your thoughts. That's what I can say. Fire over water, she got good news. I believe she definitely monitors her thoughts. It's a game changer, guys, and I wish I could just explain it, but not everyone wants to hear about it, and a lot of people are not ready to hear how to do it. That's why you have to like literally be a believer to achieve it. It just is what it is. I had a lucid dream last night that I signed a contract. The paper was like a solid construction paper, rainbow colored. Well, that's actually beautiful, and that can actually represent transformation. But I feel like maybe you're signing a contract to go through something, like maybe there is a transformation you have to go through. Yeah, and sometimes you see, like, you do need a break from your energy of your. It's so true. Sometimes you just. It depends where you are. If you're overthinking it, take a break. Stepping back, focusing on you. You cannot lose your person. Like, your person's not going to be like, if you're gone for a week, think of how many times they did it to you. Were you gone? No. They could have disappeared for a month. Some of them, they disappeared for years. Are you gone? No. You're not gone to them either. And, I'll give you one example. And I don't remember where I heard this, but it is like the truth. I get it. Someone wasn't, their friend stopped calling them. Oh, I think I heard it on another channel, but their friend had stopped calling them for a very long time. And, they were like, how can I change this? How can I change this? So they manifested their friend to reach out again. And their friend reached out and said, hey, I'm really like, sorry, I know I've been distant. And it just seems like the more distant I am, the harder it is for me to reach out. And those are just friends. Those are just two girls having the girl talk, friends. But that's how people feel. And I have been there too, where I've like not talked to people for so long. Um, to be honest, it's like gut wrenching to think of how am I going to talk to them now? What am I going to say to them now? Honestly, guys, with my person, I won't even let that happen. Personally, that's just me because I am very, I guess you could say like action oriented. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing or anything. It's just I can't let that happen for me for that long. And it has happened. We have had long spaces. But it gets weird. It gets weird when you haven't talked to someone for like a month or something. And before you were even, at least if it was you even reaching out all the time, you were still reaching out. And all of a sudden you're not. You're standing your ground. And you know why it gets weird? Because you're doing it out of ego, to be honest. Because there shouldn't be a problem with reaching out to the love of your life, ever, um, regardless of their reaction. And that's the honest to God truth there. But it gets weird sometimes, and you're like, well, what am I going to say? And what are they going to think? And sometimes you just have to swallow it. Sometimes just being honest at that time is the best policy. I find to break the silence or to break like weirdness, just be honest. Just be like, hey, I'm reaching out. It feels really weird. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, however you feel. If you don't know what you're doing at that time, if you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Then say that. Be like, I feel so confused. I feel like I don't know if I should do this. Honesty is the best policy when you're not sure, right? It really just is. Just be clear about how you're feeling and the confusion you're feeling. So then that person can be like, yeah, I'm confused too. I don't know what to do. Or at least they don't feel uncomfortable either. So that's my little that's one thing. Like I've had that for a long time. I forget who taught me that. And guys, I want to tell you just one thing. If you can invest in a coach, I know people are financially struggling. Like some people, definitely. To be honest, like it's not everyone, or people are handling it differently. I actually don't know anyone that's like really, really bad off right now. Like, I don't know anyone that's lost their home or anything like that, but I know it's out there and I know it's happening. But I was thinking about this in the shower today because I'm doing coaching, yeah, but it's not about pushing what I'm doing. It's about the lessons I've learned from getting coaching for the last about I've actually got coaching all the time, especially when I was a realtor because we had coaching. But like to pay for it or to take my own steps in doing it, it's been about 6 years now that I've had continuous coaching with different mentors. And I think about all the money I spent on that and stuff. And, there was times I volunteered and I might be willing to I might take on one person as well, just to show people what they can do. But the point is, I've actually always gotten a return from it. Always. Like one of my coaches alone cost me $5,000 and I got a return instantly on that. My life I love that coach, even though I don't use him anymore. It's just because I want different coaches now. And often, after coaching with someone for a couple of years or a year, it is time to go to a new coach. You do need to explore other people and hear other people giving you positive feedback. But I'm bringing this up, guys, because I was thinking about how some people are struggling right now at this time. And trust me, it was so scary for me to give someone $5,000 at one time. And there's coaches you can get for like $100, $150 at one time. You don't have to invest in 4 months or a year, whatever. Mine was just a few months for that price. That's it. And it was only once a week. Well worth it. I don't care. But the point is, when you invest that money, as scary as it is for a minute, now you have a responsibility. Now you're like, you know what? I invested that money in myself. I'm going to make sure I get use of it. I'm going to make sure that something comes of this. And I think that is part of the reason why every time I've got an expensive coach, I really do see results usually within 24 hours after our first meeting. And it just is how it is. And then the results, it always seems to be like that for me, but I hope not anymore. I intend for it to be totally different now because I am starting new coaching. But for me, it would go high, and then there'd be this scary moment where things aren't moving, and then you have to get back on. And and it always happens. And the coach is like, okay, well, what have you changed? What are you letting yourself down in? Because if you make promises, for example, to even if you make a promise to me to work with me and you don't do what you say you're going to do, like the work you say you're going to do, that will reflect in your manifestations. Like it will reflect in your life. And it happened to me. And I was like, coach, why all of a sudden do I feel like, I don't feel good? He's like, well, are you putting in the hour of, or whatever? His was 15 minutes twice a day. Are you putting in the full 15 minutes twice a day that you agreed to put in? Are you keeping a clean mind? Are you doing the journal work? And I wasn't. I was like, no, actually, I'm not. And he's like, it's not a bad thing. I'm just like, no, like I'm not motivated to read any more of the book. I'm not motivated to write any more of my story out. And he's like, well, the thing is, when you promised that, and, he made me sign a contract, real simple. Just listen to what I say for the next 3 months. Basically, it was like that. And he's like, well, when you make a promise to do something and you don't do it, whether you realize it or not, it takes a toll on you internally. And that reflects outwards. So those are, that's a little pointer there. And that's just the type of things you'll learn in coaching. But there really does come something with investing in yourself and knowing you're worth it. It really happens. So I'm not saying it has to be me. I'm not saying who it has to be. But it actually is great to get someone. Sure, get free coaches too. Do that. I do that all the time. I get free coaching all the time in different sources. Someone's offering this here. Someone's offering that. Sometimes I agree with it. Sometimes I don't. If I don't agree with it, I turn it right off. But putting a little bit of money into yourself or a lot of money into yourself, it is so true. And I bet you any coach will tell you it gives you some sort of a new value of yourself. You realize I am worth this. I am going to try this out. And for me, it's always paid off. Always. Not just that I got my money back. Yes, of course you get your money back when you are on a different level, when you're thinking a different way and you're allowing money to flow to you and flow in and out and not stressing about it. Of course you get your money back. More important, I'm getting lessons. I'm getting this peace of mind. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning new tools. I'm learning tools I can share with others. I'm able to spread my message more clearly because that's what I intended. Those were my initial intentions, to be a vessel of transformation for anyone I speak to. Those are intentions from like the beginning of this channel or before that, when I was working with that coach. And yeah, so guys, and there was times, I'll tell you, there was a week once my coach said, do nothing but say, I am lovable. That a whole week, we didn't do anything else but that. I was so pissed because, I spent the $5,000 and I'm like, what? And like, yeah, the whole week, I am lovable. I am lovable. And, not all coaches require you to do that. I got the coaching I needed at the time, and I needed to say that to myself. I really did. And it really actually helped. It really did change things up, but that's a couple years ago. And now I have new lessons, and it's not even about I am lovable because I know I'm lovable. It's I am a creator. Like I am a manifester. It's more like that now. So it's really nice to be on that level and to actually know it and to say it with confidence is even better because, I keep a journal of things that come true, little wishes that come true. I manifested another ladybug, guys. And not only was it a ladybug, it was a baby ladybug. And I don't know the last time I saw a baby ladybug. So I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I really wanted to see a ladybug. My manifestation took a week and I woke up to a ladybug in my place. I have not seen any around here yet. The other ladybug I saw was yesterday, and it was like about an hour away from my neighborhood, the baby, right? And then I was looking for more, and I couldn't find any more. But I asked, I'm like, I want to see another ladybug. But yeah, the ladybug was in my place, and I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So, because I was like, why isn't my manifestation coming in? And that's the thing. You can't question it. You got to just know it, But okay, guys. So thank you so much. I'm going to shut down, not read anymore right now. I really appreciate you all. I really appreciate everyone that booked over this weekend because I really wanted to try out that platform. And I did get to try it out now. And I absolutely love it for convenience and quickness. For me, it's very easy to shoot a message over to you, send, click, and it goes right to you. Like nothing else needed. Amazing. I think that they are amazing. That company, they need to get an app next. And yeah, so thank you for everyone that participated in that. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I had some really interesting questions because it's really interesting when you get to the question. And um, if you book there, it's always one question, but if you want, put a second question in. If I can do it, I'll do it. Like it's actually not hard to do a second question in that time. So if you book one question for now, put a second question. If I can do it, I will do it. If for any reason I can't, just understand it's one question. But so far it wasn't a problem at all. It actually kept the flow going. I offered to double up your questions, and that was wonderful. So I learned that I can do that. And sometimes quick readings actually just get directly to the point. Instead of all this investigating, we don't actually need to know all those little details from the cards. Thank you very much. We need the basics, okay? There's a miracle coming here. Keep an open mind. It's coming quickly, okay? Like that's really what you need to know, and then some detail. So, because it will just repeat itself, in the near future, time. Like it will just repeat itself. So, thank you so much, everyone. But don't hesitate if you want to book in-person reading or whatever on my website. That is still open, and I still am doing them. And thank you for everyone that booked on there as well. And that's that. Okay. So have a great everything. This is the weekly energy. This is what to expect. Remember, you can look up the daily astrological energies on Google if you want to see what's happening. Today's a bit intense to start the week. That's why I might do another one of these tomorrow because I feel like Monday mornings are always intense. But, anyhow, okay, bye, guys. I'm going to tidy up here. Thank you so much. Ciao for now. Welcome. You're welcome, Blue.